Hey guys, it's Debbie, and I just wanted to do a quick video. I don't know, quick 30-minute video is my time range I'm going to go for today to go over biohacks, how you can avoid weight gain this holiday season. I think of weight gain during the holidays. They say, I remember I've been in fitness, 25 plus years. If you are eating a lot starting Thanksgiving until New Year's Day, the average person, I think, gained 7 pounds. I don't know what it is nowadays, 10 pounds, but say seven. Now, you, the listener, are probably an athlete, you're active, you're exercising. But as I share on my podcast, we athletes are not always fit and healthy or happy because we often are driven, ambitious, high performers that are always pushing the envelope on everything. More is better and tend to do a little too much of everything, leading to what happened to me almost 10 years ago, 2013, adrenal exhaustion, HPA axis dysfunction, or we say as FDN practitioners, metabolic chaos. Everything has been crazy in my body. So, what I like to look at, how to avoid weight gain is our purpose today. 5 things that I listed to help manage your blood sugar and avoid that typical weight gain during the holidays. I think a lot of times I have clients just think, I'm going to start January. Just eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want, don't know when to stop, and just deal with the consequences in January 1, right? You do dry January, avoid this food, that food for January, detox January. But why do we do that? Yes, I think you should enjoy special holiday foods that you just have once a year. Like I will make holiday cookies and gluten-free. I have to do wheat-free, gluten-free, but there's ways to make some treats that I would never eat year round that I can make lower carb or for sure gluten-free. And I can't do a lot of sugar, gives me headaches. So what if you have stuff that's not ideal for you? How do you biohack it? So let's pull up my blog and some other notes that I saw on some NutriSense blogs and Ben Greenfield. So how do you burn fat? Number one biohack, as I was saying, every holiday season seems a little busier. It can be stressful. And every stress response is, fill in the blank, you've heard me say this a zillion times, a blood sugar response. I have the HP access system, emergency system alert. I need to run from a line, so I'm going to have adrenaline so I can respond to that threat. Your child's being run over by a car. You have just energy to do it. But then cortisol is released. And then if we don't have that recovery in between that stress, we keep going, chronic stress, domino effect of issues happens. So what can you do to manage your stress? One, I find we get busy. As I said, we kind of schedule ourselves a little too much. I know people tend to do things every night after work and they have family activities, sports, and then they have parties, and then they're trying to fit in their workouts. Well, I'm kind of lame. I don't like to do things Sunday night or during the week after 7 p.m. because I like to go to bed at 8 p.m., 9 o'clock the latest, or else I do not operate well the next day because I get up early. I wake up naturally around 4:30 in the morning and I'm at the gym lifting weights at 5:30 a.m. or going for a run or bike ride, depending on the time of year. So push pause, take time to reset, push alternate control delete on your body, stop, pause, and breathe. Box breathing. There's other types of 478 breath work. There's Hanu Health. We just did a great podcast with Dr. Jay Wiles on measuring heart rate variability using their app and using heart rate monitor to use to track how you can improve your HRV with the breathing exercises that they have on the app. Now, box breathing is a simple one. I often do this when I can't fall asleep at night or I wake up and I can't fall back to sleep. But this is good to do if you're just busy, if you're sitting in traffic, you're late to appointment. If you're like me, I get worked up, I get stressed if I'm rushed or if I'm late. So the new me tries not to pack everything so close together, leave a half an hour buffer instead of 10 minutes. that kind of thing. But stop breathing through your nose. Exhale. You can just do that 3 times, or box breathing. You breathe in through your nose and count to 4. Hold for count to 4. Exhale, count to 4. Hold for count to 4. Inhale, count to 4. Continue doing that 3 to 4 rounds. Now, just as I did that, I feel a little calmer because I'm worked up because I'm recording a podcast and I really want to get this information out to you today. Box breathing, try it. Number 2, biohack, how to avoid gaining weight this holiday season. Put on that NutriSense. Test your ketones or glucose with Keto Mojo, or use your breath test BioSense. You don't know what you don't know, right? So let's test and not guess. What is my glucose? My goal is not to have it spike more than 30 after a meal. I want to be resting or fasting level of glucose to be 70 to 90. That's my baseline. If I have a meal, it should come back down there in a couple hours. So manage what you eat, prioritizing protein and healthy fats first, and then save those carbs for last. That will definitely raise your glucose, having carbs by himself or eating too many carbs or not matching the macronutrients together to balance your glucose. So check out the link for Keto Mojo and NutriSense on my website if you want to save money. And everybody is having Black Friday sale, so check that out. Now, exercise. How can you biohack weight loss? Well, of course, exercise, but strength training is important. Think of that muscle glycogen storage tank. Think of your muscles as suitcases. And the more muscular you are, the more storage you have for carbohydrates, glycogen. So you can tolerate more carbs without spiking your glucose that way. Also, the benefit of doing a strength and cardio workout before you eat, doing a HIIT training cardio session, that your heart rate goes up high, comes back down if you are in good cardiovascular shape. You can do that a couple hours before you eat at your meal, and you are more glucose sensitive to uptake that glycogen into your muscles and more sensitive. So insulin sensitivity is improved. Now, a quick workout you can do if you don't have time to go to the gym, think body weight. Squats, squat jumps, lunges, lunge jumps, running stairs, box jumps, side to side movements or speed skaters or side lunges. You can do slow movements and then do fast movements, explosiveness. Another example is my 5x5 workout I give clients when they're traveling. A push and a pull, a squat, a deadlift, and a core exercise. Pick 5 exercises hitting all those different muscle groups: push, pull, squat, hinge exercise, and a core exercise. 5 repetitions. Do that 5 times through. If you want to add a little cardio blast, do those 5 exercises, then do 30 to 45 or 60 seconds of a cardio exercise. So maybe it's jumping on your bike, running up a hill, running on a treadmill for 1 minute. Maybe you're doing body weight exercises, speed skaters, tire hops, burpees, or, just like I said, run the hill outside or run your stairs. Mix it up. So that's an example for a quick workout you can do 1 time or 5 times through. Something is better than nothing. Now, the other biohack, so to speak, to help avoid weight gain is helping your glucose levels come back down. So movement. Instead of sitting at the table for hours talking, get outside and go for a walk and talk. How about that? Novel idea. Everyone always sits, has another glass of wine or has some coffee, and they're just sitting there. I get up and I start doing the dishes. Obviously, if you know me, I'm not good at sitting very long. So sitting, eating dinner, when we're done eating, I don't want to sit anymore and hang out and talk. So I might be the unsociable one, but I'm good at doing dishes at people's houses and picking up the dishes off the table. Cleaning the table is my skill. Can't cook, but I can clean. So what you can do, even 2 minutes, move. If it's going up and down your stairs, go down your driveway and back, go to the mailbox, or go for a 10, 20-minute walk with your family. Okay, number 5, how to avoid that holiday weight gain. This says on my list here what you eat. So obviously, this is like part 1, 2, and 3. What you eat, when you eat, and how you eat. What you eat. First part. If you've been listening all year to the podcast, you know we're all talking about eating protein. Prioritize protein and fat. So natural fats with the meat. So animal fat, grass-fed, fatty fish, fish, wild caught, chicken, turkey if you want, but I'm into having my tri-tip, getting barbecue, getting some hard-boiled eggs, getting that protein in that nice ribeye steak, grass-fed ideally, and avoid the toxins that come with factory-raised animals. That's the bad type of protein we want to avoid. If you can afford to get the grass-fed, go for that. So what you eat, protein fills you up, keeps you satiated, but this relates to the other part here, how you eat. I know a lot of people, when I do their functional lab tests, they have poor digestion of proteins. They're eating protein, but their protein markers are low, partially because their H. pylori levels are high, their stomach acid is low, and they have poor digestion with the enzymes and enough acidity in their stomach to break down the nutrients they're eating. So eating protein into amino acids. And then we have poor gut health that we're not able to get the nutrients broken down and absorb them because we have often dysbiosis and leaky gut and inflammation in our body. So how you eat is really important, as well as what you eat. So what you're eating, nutrient dense whole foods, focus on the protein first, but how you eat it, chewing your food 20, 30 times, putting your fork down, taking your time eating, not inhaling it. I watch people all the time eat way too fast. They might be eating good stuff, but they are eating like they are late for a meeting or a flight or something. I don't know why people eat so fast. Maybe as a kid, you were eating fast because you want to get out and get outside and play again. Learn how to stop, pause, do that 1-minute breath work exercise. Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. 1 minute, shift to that parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest nervous system. Do not eat while you're in fight or flight, because that is the sympathetic nervous system that's not going to help you digest your food. Look at an infographic on Google of the parasympathetic nervous system function versus the sympathetic function. You don't see digestion on the sympathetic. So chew your food, eat slowly, eat mindfully, sit down, chew, cut your food, smaller pieces, and stop inhaling your food. Okay, and last part of this, number 5, is when you eat. We talked about intermittent fasting, athletes, 12 to 16-hour intermittent fast from dinner to breakfast. Do intuitive fasting because you're eating when you're hungry and not eating because it's time of day, but listen to your body when it needs actual fuel. Female athletes that are cycling, you should know this by now. I've talked about this 100 times this year. Fasting 12 to 15 hours, eating a little something, calories, if it's just 20 calories in your coffee before you work out, except for days 10 of your menstrual cycle to day 14, you can do 3 days of fasted exercise during that time if it's low zone 1-2 mapatone style. If you are exercising 2 days within 8 hours, you need to eat 30 minutes after your workout, so you refuel for the next workout if it's more anaerobic. So that's all in another video on the Low Carb Athlete podcast channel on YouTube, or listen to the audio version here, might come out this fall. So what you eat, when you eat, and how you eat is really essential to avoid that typical weight gain. All right, here's some other tips. Ben Greenfield had an article on biohacking your blood sugar. So similar to what I wrote, blood sugar control strategy number 1, strength training. Number 2, pre-breakfast fasted cardio. So we suggest morning, wake up, get outside, sunrise, walking, low heart rate, zone 1-2. Even zone 1, that's your fasted cardio. To do fasted, you need to make sure it's low heart rate. All right. And then afterwards, have a shower. When you shower, end on cold. That's going to help your blood sugar for sure. Now, number 3, we talked about postprandial walk. So walking after you eat. Blood sugar strategy number 4, use a standing desk, as I'm standing right now. You can lower your blood sugar if you use a standing desk, and he's got research. And then Ben talks a lot over the years. He used to talk all the time about greasing the groove to control your blood sugar even when you're not exercising. So in my office here in the glass house, I have my rebounder, Bosu. I have a 20-pound medicine ball on the wheel and the ball here. I have a kettlebell. So I should, and I will practice what I preach, do some exercises throughout my workday if I'm in here all day. Now, Ben is a little excessive compared to my little grease in the groove exercises. So doing something, with yoga and movement in the morning with deep nasal breathing, he suggests, but doing throughout the day, like 25 body weight squats, 30 burpees at least once a day, 100 jumping jacks for every hour that you're sitting, take a cold shower 2-3 times a day. So that is a Ben Greenfield. I would say 5 burpees. And burpees, by the way, think of it slow motion. You're doing a squat, primal squat, hands to the floor, step back, do 1 push-up, walk your feet to your hands, squat, and stand up. That's 1 burpee. So think burpee is a squat to a plank to 1 push-up to walking back up to standing. Okay. So modify this. Ben is superhuman, amazing, fit, strong athlete, and extremely disciplined. So suggesting 25 body weight squats, let's start with 5 squats throughout the day. Instead of 30 burpees at least once a day, let's say 1 burpee, or I would say 5 burpees. So 100 jumping jacks, think of that as 20. So talk about it in normal people world numbers there. And then a cold shower, my body temperature running higher sometimes of the month, it's nice to have a cooler shower. And, it could be 60 degrees. And I walked in the ocean yesterday morning and it was freezing cold outside, 40 degrees, but the ocean was 60 degrees. And I got my cold on my feet that way, but I did not submerge myself. So getting cold is helpful. Okay. And then biohacking articles on bengreenfieldlife.com. You can read that one. Best ways to control blood sugar. Other things are prioritizing what you eat first. So eating your protein and fiber first. Protein slows down in the rise of glucose. So adding a big log to a fire that will burn for hours versus throwing a piece of paper in a fire that burn too quickly. This is from a blog I got from NutriSense, not Ben, but this one is great. I say that all the time in our other videos and be metabolically efficient athlete is, do you want to burn Duraflame fat logs or do you want to burn kindling? Can't even speak end of the day, sorry. So vegetables take more time to chew. So more fibrous vegetables as cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, broccoli. You can't eat those super fast. They're going to just get stuck in your throat like a piece of meat and you're going to be choking. So chew your food, cut it up, smaller pieces, eat slowly. Also, they talk about meal sequencing during Thanksgiving dinner or holiday dinners, parties, keeping your glucose level. So that's NutriSense blog on how to eat your Thanksgiving meal. Also, they were talking in this blog about meditation, breathing exercises that can help reduce cortisol. So as I said, first, number 1 hack, I was talking about stress. So cortisol, you can help reduce that with the breathing exercises. So I was talking about that already, but slowing your breath down as I need to right now. In and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth, or just breathe in and out the nose. But if you feel like you're worked up like I am right now, it's in yoga. You do lion's breath. You breathe in and you let it out. And that's a nice way to de-stress and you feel, let it go. So if you're a little worked up because you're rushing around like I've been today, lion's breath, let it roar. So other thing to mellow out, you can just do different breathing exercises as Hanu Health or the box breathing, but I really like to look at HRV. So I use the Aura. I'm using Hanu Health to track my HRV, but really checking out how I can optimize my sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system and keep it more in balance, more resilient. So other articles, Carb Manager had a good biohacking for weight loss, 5 simple tweaks. So checking out those. I must say supplement biohacking. I added this in the blog, but check out Bio-optimizers, they are having a 25% off sale this weekend, but Masszymes for sure, I think people need. I find every client is an individual, but I find when I do their lab test assessment, remember I do 3 labs to 5 labs on a client, their blood chemistry, a stool test, dried urine tests for hormones with Dutch, and then sometimes if they can spend more money, it's a wheat zoomer food sensitivity test Vibrant Wellness has, and then organic acids test by Great Plains would be my 5th test. So depends on the budget, but for sure digestive enzymes are really important. And I love Biooptimizer's Masszymes. So you can read about the benefit of those enzymes for breaking down your food and especially protein. So you can read all about that, improving overall energy levels with proper digestion, helps with leaky gut, food sensitivities, and their Capex. I would really be taking that holiday season if you tend to be cheating a little bit more. It helps digestion of fat. So if you're doing a higher keto plan, helps with that, but also helps with a little ketones and energy to give you fullness and satiety. So if you take some in the morning, and sometimes you might need afternoon, but don't take it later in the day because it gives you energy. But I find you feel more satiated and full, so you won't eat as much. Also improves absorption of minerals as iron and magnesium. So actually, we need to buy more of those. I'm out of those Masszymes together with that. So mineral deficiencies are just so interesting. When you do the hair mineral test we just did with upgraded formulas, we recorded my results to show you, but really important. Now, if you're eating out, I know based on my wheat zoomer I did Vibrant Wellness, I'm off the chart inflammatory response to any wheat, not just gluten, but all wheat. So if I am eating out at a restaurant or someone's house that might have wheat, I need Gluten Guardian to take. So you want to eat out, take Gluten Guardian before you eat out, and it helps with dairy as well. So that information is on here. So lastly, the 10 healthy tips for Thanksgiving Day, NutriSense is on here. Start the day right. Remember to snack smartly, help yourself stay hydrated, stay active, contribute to the feast. You know, I always bring my own plate if we're eating out somewhere else, just make sure I bring like charcuterie board with some pitted green olives I love and some good hard salami and maybe some Brazil nuts would be really good, and having some goat cheese that I love. So the tip number 6 that they have is be a picky eater. You know, I find clients struggle with going to someone's house or their in-laws or family, and they can't say no. If you ever get like that, you can't say, no, I can't eat that. So something I learned, I've said this in a podcast earlier this year, you just have to say that causes inflammation in my body, or I can't eat that. Or I'm protecting myself. I can't eat that. I'm protecting myself. I don't know. Think of something that works. You can just be serious. Say, I'm allergic to that. That's simple. But sometimes people freak out that, you know, can't eat any of it. So just say what you want. Don't be just, oh, people pleaser. How many people I know are just a people pleaser and they don't think of themselves first? They try to make everyone happy. I would rather know someone can't eat something or is trying to avoid something, so I'm not making them feel uncomfortable or feel crappy, have a headache or gut issues the next day, right? So that's number 7, actually. I didn't read that, but say no without feeling guilty. I like that. So just say no. If someone says, clean your plate off as a kid, you know, we used to eat everything off, so you always overeat. You don't listen to your full signals. Your hormones, ghrelin makes you feel hungry, and then leptin makes you feel full and satiated. We need to be leptin sensitive. So same thing as you become insulin resistant, because if something is happening all the time, that chronic dose of whatever hormone, you become insulin or leptin resistant. So whatever hormone gets overactive, like cortisol, same thing, we become resistant over time and insensitive. So just stop when you're full. Just say no. Don't feel guilty about it. Really important. It's a mindset. You have to go to the dinner party, go to that party with the intentions of you're staying in your program that makes you feel good, that you're going to leave and feel happy, and you're going to feel energized, and you'll have a good sleep, and you'll be able to have a good workout the next day. You're not going to feel depressed, miserable, and guilty because you didn't do what you needed to do for you. So think of that, putting the oxygen mask on first so you can help other people. You have to take care of you first, and that includes eating foods that make you feel good. So other tips in this article I liked is slowing down, join the movement, as I said, mindful versus mindless, talking, sharing stories, reconnecting, not focusing on your plate in front of you and eating in 5 minutes, right? And having second serving, and you haven't even tasted your food. So many people eat so fast, I don't even think they savor each bite and taste the flavors of that special meal and the seasonings and the spice. And it's so different, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holiday meals you have, Hanukkah, everyone has their traditions. So, take your time and enjoy it. It's once a year. Now, number 9, try the small plate trick. That's the easy way, right? I just eat off of a small plate. Don't get the big giant plates. And then enjoy yourself. Really important tip. Easy to get swept up in the stress of staying healthy during the holiday season, what's on your plate, how it influences your health, all the progress you made. You get too stressed with that. I think, like Vinnie Tortich would always say, put the life into living, live life to its fullest. Don't be so hard. If you do have a slip up or you eat something that makes you feel crappy, go do 10, 20 squats, or go in the hallway and do some squat jumps or jumping jacks, or go for a walk, or say, okay, everybody, let's go out for a walk. Next day, you can do a bone broth fast, right? So before the holiday and after the holiday, drink 3 to 6 cups of bone broth, like Bonafide Provisions is my favorite, and put some ghee in it, or avocado oil, or a little bit of truffle sea salt. Tastes amazing. So check that out. So that's some tips in this blog I put together. I put my newsletter I just wrote on my 8 elements of the holistic method. So check that out on my website, debbiepotts.net. But have a great holiday season. The main thing is to enjoy it, have fun, and don't let it all be about food. Let it be about connecting with family, with loved ones, sharing stories, creating new memories, and just being together and being grateful for what you have in your life today. And take a moment to write out what you are grateful for. I lost my dad this year, and I've just known so many friends that passed away this year. Lou Gehrig's disease, esophageal cancer. Someone just died from walking in streets in San Francisco, got attacked by someone on the street, and my friend's brother, died of brain trauma and died. So it's just horrible experiences and traumatic experiences for family and friends have lost so many loved ones this year. So be grateful for being alive. Again, I would say live your best life, be your best self, to perform your best in life, and just focus on you now to improve your future self. So how do you want to be living and showing up to your life every day when you're 80? Let's look at that. So let me know your questions, your suggestions, the feedback, and what I can record for my next solo cast podcast. All right. Enjoy the holiday season. Talk soon.